So we are going to write down your full name, which is Charlotte Stone. Then we are also going to write what you want. So what kind of glove do you prefer? Should it be a light one for spring or summer, or should it be a little bit warmer for the autumn?
Yeah, I would really like a glove for the winter, because I get really, really cold hands, and I also get like the Raynaud's syndrome, where the finger turns white and all the blood kind of comes out of the finger. So I have to really keep my hands warm in the winter. So something really big and thick and nice and warm would be lovely.
So I'm going to write down season, winter, warm and thick. Perfect. And does it occur in every one of your fingers, or is it just on one particular finger where the blood kind of like drains out?
I would say it would be the index finger and sometimes the ring finger.
Okay, and on both of your hands or on just one?
It's both hands, but sometimes it's not at the same time. It can be at different times.
Okay. So it was like pointing finger and also ring finger. Okay, perfect. Both hands, right?
Yeah, both hands.
Both hands. That's wonderful. Okay, so if you want to, we can actually make a thicker, basically wall of the glove for these two particular fingers, or we can make it thick for each and every of your fingers, basically depending on whatever you prefer. So
I think it would be a really good idea to do all the fingers.
All the fingers.
Sometimes it's not common, but sometimes the pinky finger and the middle finger are like have the syndrome, and the thumb sometimes, but it would probably help in the overall warmth of the fingers to do them all.
Okay. All fingers. Perfect. Okay, great. For what kind of activity do you want it? Do you want it for simply walking like in the winter when it's snowing? Do you also want it to maybe play with your child if you have one? Just like kind of like throwing snowballs and stuff?
I would really like gloves that I can wear like when I'm like out and about in the outside, but also like when I get into my car first thing in the morning. The steering wheel's really cold. But I'd like to be able to wear a glove that's safe for driving. That I could also wear like when I'm doing like grocery shopping or having to like run errands or something like that. So I don't have to kind of keep swapping between driving gloves and outside gloves.
For driving and just regular use. Perfect. Great. So it's not going to be fluffy, it's going to be like really thin, but also the leather will be of a like significant thickness, so that it actually like really keeps the hands warm. Would that be alright?
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Okay. What kind of colour do you prefer?
So I wouldn't like a black colour necessarily. But something dark but elegant at the same time.
Perhaps brown.
Yeah, brown would be really nice actually, like a chestnut brown.
Just brown. Okay. Just brown. Or of course we can even do a grey one if you want to.
Like a slate grey would be nice, like a real dark grey.
So looking at your skin tone, I would say that grey, dark grey wouldn't be such a good choice. I would more recommend to have the chestnut brown, because it will go really nice with your eyes. It will make them pop up a little bit.
I'd love that.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So the chestnut brown it is.
Yes,
then.
please.
Do you kind of want to have there some kind of pattern? It can be checked, or they can be like steaming, like in between the fingers, basically.
I think if we have them just plain and neutral with no embellishments or patterns, I think that would go with a lot of my outfits, rather than like clashing or worrying about like not being able to wear them.
Great. So they're going to be plain pattern, plain. Good. I wanted to ask you one more thing. So, what kind of material would you want to use? We can of course have cotton. We can have your like gloves be knitted, or it can be leather.
Anything that's like waterproof would be really good.
Okay.
And maybe like in a material that's more like environmentally friendly, like maybe a vegan leather or something like that.
Okay, so material, vegan leather. Perfect. Okay, I think this is all I need to ask for now. So what we are going to do now actually is we will be tracing your hand now, if that's all right. So I will just have you to put your palm right here, and if you can just have it normally as you would.
Yeah.
Now just draw your hand. We want to be as precise as possible. What is important is to have the pen in the same angle for the whole time. Okay, great. So this was your left hand. Perfect. Now let's turn it around. I'll take a different paper. Good. And we will do your right hand. Do you always have your nails done?
Yeah. Normally at that length as well.
At that length? Okay. Good. You can take off your hand now. Just going to. Good. And that was your right hand. That's perfect. So what I'm going to do now, I will take measurements. So first off, I'm going to measure the length of your fingers from the knuckles right here. Okay. So 7.5. That is your right hand. This was your pinky, so just right here. 7.5 centimeters. Okay, now this finger, and that's 9 centimeters. Let me just make the arrows. Everywhere. Okay, good. So this was 9 centimeters. Okay, let's continue. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, and 9.7. 9.7 centimeters, and this is 8.8. 8.8 centimeters. So, and lastly, we will do your thumb, which is 6.8 centimeters. Okay. What I do now is switch your hands. So your left one, let's see if it's the same. Let's start from the same finger. So it's 7 centimeters precisely. Now let's do the other fingers. Good. And now just from the knuckle again, and it's 8.5 centimeters again. We will do all the measurements in centimeters. 9.3 with your nails. 9.3 centimeters. Another one would be this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 and 8, 6. 8, 6 centimeters. And lastly, this one, and that will be 6.5. 6.5 centimeters. So I'm just going to grab your hand now and turn it around, if that's alright. I'll just take the measure tape and measure the circumference of your palm, or palm, wrist. Palm will be later. Okay. So basically, 16 centimeter circumference of the wrist on your left hand. So, 16 centimeters. let's continue with the circumference of the palm on the same hand. So what I will be doing is basically this, and that's about 19 centimeters. So that was from here to there, 19 centimeters. Okay. And if I can have your hand again, but this time with your thumb as well. Okay, you can actually keep it relaxed. Perfect. Just put this aside, keeps getting in the way. And this is 24 centimeters. Right. Perfect. Now, what we are going to do is the same hand, but this time I will take these little circles and we will try what kind of basically finger size you are, which can be also good if you want to buy a ring for yourself. Then it will be really convenient.
I've always been curious as to what my ring size is.
Yeah. So we will take for your pinky little finger, we will use 52, sorry. Okay, we will see if it fits or not, and it's too large. So we will take 50 instead. Just to be a little bit smaller, because you don't want the ring to kind of like fall off from your finger, so it kind of should have a problem to go over your knuckle basically. Not to stuck here, not to be stuck here, but kind of like so that it like doesn't fall off easily.
Sure.
Yeah.
So with my Reynolds, where the fingers go white, when the blood goes back into the fingers actually swell up.
Okay.
So it is quite difficult for me to put rings on and off.
Yeah.
So that might be a consideration for the gloves too, that
Yeah.
when the hands eventually warm up, they become bigger.
Okay, so we will need a little bit more of a space basically there. Okay. Okay, even smaller than this. So it will be about 46 hopefully. Yeah. And this is how it should be. So it's 46. As you can see, it doesn't come off easily, which is good. So it was 46 in square. Perfect. Now let's try your, okay, and this will be 56 on your thumb. Slides really nice. Then 53, 55, 54, 53 on the ring finger. Okay, doesn't really go well, so let's try this. Okay, doesn't fit. So let's try this. Yes, 59 it is. Now about 50, 58 it could be. 53 again. 50, 53. Good. Perfect. Ring size plus 1, 2, 2. Okay, so now we can switch hands. Let's change the papers. Like this. Perfect. Now the circumference of your palm again, or wrist. So that's 16 again. That's great. 16 centimeters. Now your palm without the thumb. So that's 19, 20, 21, would be about 19, 19 and a half. Now with your thumb, again keep it relaxed, like this. Good. Perfect, thank you. And it will be just like this, and that's 24, 25, 24.7. 24.7. Good. So again, let's try the ring sizes as we tried previously. So for your pinky finger, it will be 4 to 6. Let's go into the smaller sizes.
Yeah, let's go from the top.
Let's do 40, 46. And that's just wonderful. It doesn't slide up easily, which is exactly what we want.
Okay.
And we will try on the ring finger, number 53, 51, 52, 53. Okay, so 53. Wonderful. 58, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, and 58. Okay, just slide it on your finger. Perfect. Does not go easily over the knuckle, just how it's supposed to be. And 59 on the pointing finger. Perfect. Oh, great. And lastly, 56. 56 on your thumb. It's a little too small. Let's use 59. Wonderful. Very nice. So let's just write it down here. So it's 59. Otherwise, it's the same. And this is the same as well. Good. Perfect. So now we have all the measurements needed. So if I can ask you for your hands now, look if there are any bumps or lumps that could be causing any troubles. I'll be just like touching on the inner side of your fingers, so if you can spread them for me just a tiny bit. Perfect. Lastly, good. Now here and here as well. Also here and here and there. Okay, can you turn your palms to the other side? Perfect. I'm just going to be pressing. Do you tend to have any kind of pain in your hands somewhere?
No.
Okay, something I should be aware of?
No, just the Raynaud's that can be painful.
Okay. And no eczema? Okay. Sometimes people have skin issues when they, for example, wash their hands in hand, or wash their dishes in hand.
Yeah. I use gloves.
Yeah, perfect. Because then it can cause like irritation, sometimes eczema, or any kind of other skin issues.
I always try to use wear gloves when I do anything with my hands that I don't normally do, like gardening or washing or anything like that.
Okay, any pain here? Okay. When your fingers start to swell up and get bigger, does it also happen with your wrist?
It's never the wrist, it's always the fingers.
Okay, so we will keep it really nice and fit around the wrists here, but we will like make a tiny bit of more space in this area.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. So before we will try, we have the basically gloves that we use as reference, and I will try how well it fits you and what kind of space will we need to leave. They are leather, but first I will need to clean your hands with this brush because of hygienic reasons, of course. Is that right?
That's fine.
Okay. So I'll be just kind of brushing your hands like this. I'll just grab your hand if that's alright. Like this. Perfect. You can relax your hand. Yeah. That's wonderful. I'll turn your palm and do it like this. You can relax. Great. That's perfect. Great. So let's just brush. So we are getting rid of the dead cells, the skin residues. Perfect. Great. And we'll just do it on the inner side of your fingers, in between them. Perfect. Good. Good. Can you turn your palm around? Good. That's perfect. Great. Okay. I'll take your other hand in the second. Do it even on the other hand. So you can put this down. Now what we are going to do is try the gloves on. So we have here 2 different types of leather. Both are vegan. So I will just ask you to slide your hand in. Perfect. So, yeah. Can you make a fist in the glove? Perfect. Now release. Okay, so we already can see that we would have to make it much smaller in this area. Okay. We would have to make it smaller for about 1/3 of the size. Okay. I'm just going to check how loose it is around your fingers. You would have to make it a little bit tighter, but not as this, because if your fingers just keep swelling, it will cause problem, and you probably would not be able to like get your hand out of the glove. So instead of having it like really tight like this, we would have there like a little bit of will there.
That feels quite nice.
Okay. Okay, so I'll just check on the other fingers as well. Of course, your fingers are not as long. We would keep there just a tiny bit of space on top for you to have even longer nails if you ever wanted to have one, but probably not if they were like this long, just like normally as you have it basically.
I normally don't have them any longer.
Yeah.
I don't think that thing.
Okay, so your fingers, just going to grab your hand, so your finger is basically here with your nail here, so we will leave about this much space. Okay, the same, about this much space. Your nail ends here again, so about this much space. What about here? Yeah, about this much space. It's not much, but you kind of want to be able to grab things without it, like, because if you like have your hand like this and you just try to pick something, it will like, you will not be able to without it bending. Okay, so basically if I make this tight, you will also need to make this just a little bit more looser again, about this much of the excess would go away. But you still have the will to make a fist. Can you make a fist for me? Does it feel too tight?
No, it feels
okay.
good.
Okay, perfect. That's wonderful. When we are taking our leather gloves off, you always want to kind of push on the tips like this. Just grab your hand. Just want to push like this on each of the fingers, and then it should be like easily to come off. Yeah. So you never want to bend your gloves like this when there is like any kind of stain on them. What I would recommend is just like putting them into water, then take soap and just kind of like rub it into the part if there was like for example a wine stain, if it's spilled. So then you just like rub it, but then you have to again like put it into the water, kind of like get the soap out of the glove, but you don't want to kind of like do this, scrunch it. You just want to slightly press on it to get the water excess out, and then just let it dry. But best is if you also take towel after you get rid of the excess, and you just press again the towel on the glove. Okay, then just leave it to dry. Better if there is not much heat, like in normal room temperature. Okay, so this was wonderful. I'll just take another one on the other hand.
Yeah.
You will have basically two fits for you, and you choose which one fits you better and what kind of material do you prefer. So again, it is a little bit looser, however not as much as the previous one. There is this pattern, but as you said, you want to have your gloves plain, so this will not be there. You don't have to worry. Okay, so I'm just going to again press. You would have to make it tighter again, no problem. The same with the fingers. I'll again grab your hand like this and just kind of press. Okay. Does it feel comfortable?
It feels really soft inside.
Okay. Can you make a fist in it? Okay, and if I just grab it here, make it a little bit tighter. Okay, not necessary to make it smaller here, but if I press it here, does it still feel comfortable? Okay, you can release. That's wonderful, thank you. Okay. Sorry, of the glove. Okay. So do you prefer this one inside over the previous one? So the previous one had an inside like this, basically.
This one feels nice.
Okay. And do you prefer this kind of look or this kind of look? Because this is smoother, more feminine, I would say.
Definitely prefer this one.
Okay.
Stitching.
Okay. So we will use the inside of these ones, but the outer layer of these ones. Okay. Okay. So we should have your gloves ready in about 2 weeks from now. So if you come by, or you can give me a call, we can also write you an SMS, of course, so that you are notified that we already prepared it. Okay.
That's great.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
Looking forward to meet you again.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. You did so well. You did so well.
It's so long again. I didn't want to have the video so long, but